So no surprise, no surprise. Dear Even Henson is a flop. It is a bona fide box office failure. I was telling people this movie would flop. No one was gonna watch it. People thought, what, it's an Oscar movie. It might do well because, it has hype from the Oscars and hype from the critics. But I said, there's no real hype for this movie. No real hype for Cry Macho and the other movies that have been coming out after Shang-Chi. And I was right, and this is abysmal showings for basically pre-Shang-Chi movies. Shang-Chi held on pretty well, became the highest grossing movie of the year now, in America at least. It still has to beat High Mom from China, but Shang-Chi has made up $363 million worldwide, which is a lot of money, doing pretty well ratings-wise, which is basically average. And the Phantom Menace is not saying a single thing about it because they don't like the fact that this movie is a success. They don't like the fact that Shang-Chi is a success and it's making money. But they're the same people who still claim that Black Widow is this big, massive flop, which is stupid. They still claim it's this big, massive flop, which it isn't. We'll wait to see how the Eternals do well next month. Actually, at the beginning of November. But, yep, Shang-Chi is gonna make money, and Dear Even Henson is a flop. It's a flop. I'm not shocked at this. I know people are like, oh, really? This movie's flopping? But I'm not too surprised by this movie. I am not too surprised by Dear Even Henson flopping. Okay? And most people are saying it's a cringe-worthy pile of garbage, too. Which is even worse. Even worse. And it's by Universal. And Even Henson has a budget of $28 million. And it's not going to make back its money like In the Heights. Which In the Heights had opened earlier in the pandemic and opened for free on HBO Max. But nobody's watching this movie. We're moving on from Dear Evan Henson. Next is Free Guy, which this movie is doing really well. It's probably going to stop doing really well next week because Venom's coming out and movies that people are actually going to see are coming out, like the Addams Family sequel. Movies that people actually want to see. Addams Family 2 is basically a sequel to a very popular movie that came out in 2019. And Venom 2 is going to be hugely successful. And No Time to Die, Halloween Kills, and of course Dune, and probably The Eternals will all do very well at the box office. But this movie, Free Guy, has made $313 million. This movie has become a box office success. Despite that certain YouTuber being in the movie, it seems that 99% of people have said, yeah, it's just a stupid cameo, we'll go see the movie anyways. And everybody's saying how this movie is a very good movie. So yeah, Free Guy it is. Next movie is Candyman. Yeah, this movie's doing okay. It's made money, and that's all that matters. It made $31 million worldwide. Done well. So, Cry Macho. Yeah, this movie's a flop. Another flop by Clint Eastwood. I'm sure it's a pretty good movie, but Westerns just don't make money anymore. I think that's what I'm getting from this. Westerns just don't make money anymore. They're not They're not big anymore. Most westerns usually flop or do very poorly at the box office, so it's no surprising that Cry Macho didn't do too well either, which is sad at the decline of western movies. But yeah, it's another western movie flop. So yeah, next is Jungle Cruise, which again Disney has not updated this internet. Oh, actually, it's now at 90 million international, but yeah, this movie has only made $205 million. This movie is, despite losing, apparently it did well enough for Disney for it not to be a flop. This movie's doing well enough for Disney for it not to be a flop. So, yeah. Next is this flop called Maleficent. It has made $29 million, but it has a $40 million budget. It needs to make back that $40 million. It needs to make like $80 million at the box office. And it has not made $80 million yet. It's not going to make money at all. This is another big failure for Warner Bros. Back basically. And Nexus Cops Up. It's an indie movie. A lot of people say it's a pretty good movie, but it is basically a smaller movie. And it's basically selling like a smaller movie, basically. So, Nexus Papa told a movie, which has outsold the eyes of Tammy Faye again, and this movie has made 85 million worldwide. No one was expecting this movie to be a massive box office hit. Everyone was expecting this movie to do okay, like Teen Titans Go the movie. It is basically performing like Teen Titans Go the movie, and it's not too shocking. Wouldn't be surprised they make a sequel to this because this was also put on a streaming service and it did pretty well at the box office, 85 million or so. Next again is The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Nobody wants to see this movie. Even with the big bump in feeders, no one wants to see this movie. Even with the one foul, even with the 900 plus feeders it gained, it is basically a flop. And of course, we have movies like the old Boss Baby and Lighthouse is still in feeders. Black Widow is still in feeders, dropped 84%, but Boss Baby is now releasing in Europe, and it's doing alright in Europe. I expect it to end around $130 million worldwide, which it would be a flop in feeder sense, but it would likely have made money on Peacock and merchandising, which, yeah, that stuff does exist. And probably sales from, of course, Blu-ray, DVD, and other merchandising. And yeah, there we go about another week box office. But don't worry, next week we finally have a big movie, and that is Venom: Let There Be Carnage and the Addams Family 2. Okay, we have two major releases that are actually worth talking about. Other than saying, oh yeah, things he did well and the other movies flopped. Because that's what the last four box office weeks have been. Because lack of big releases. Which is kind of sad that the movie industry has gone to this way. Well, they basically people want to only watch big budget blockbusters. But again, that's how it is now. Okay? And and also just a poor showing of box office in general. Just given all the big movies were delayed. I expect October to be a much better month for box office returns. Goodbye.